Do you want to take control of your health? Hear the truth about dieting and weight loss? Learn the best strategies for maintaining a healthy lifestyle? This is the Yossi Muller Show.
And welcome to the show. I'm Yossi Muller.
And I'm Duddy Muller.
Duddy is a chef with a background in nutrition.
Yossi is a nutritionist with a background in nutrition.
Every show we do, we take another myth and crush it.
Wait! you stole my line. I say crush it.
You do? I'm sorry. Every show we do, we take another myth and debunk it.
We crush it.
Today's topic is, my body got used to the diet. People are under the impression that if they go on a diet and they follow it for some time, at a certain point, they will no longer be able to lose weight because their body gets used to the diet and the diet no longer has the same effect on the body. And they can't lose weight anymore. And of course, they're totally wrong for thinking that.
That's why it's a myth.
And that brings to mind a story that happened in Scotland in the year 1973, where an individual who was close to 500 pounds went to a hospital to lose weight, and they supervised him and did not give him any food for a year and a month, 13 months. He lost 300 pounds in 382 days, and even though he wasn't eating anything at all, he still consistently lost weight every single day because the body does not get used to a diet. Not only does the body not get used to eating less food, the body doesn't even get used to eating nothing. If you eat nothing at all, the body doesn't get used to it. You will always lose weight. As long as you're creating a calorie deficit, you will always lose weight. It doesn't matter what you did up until this point. And if someone stops losing weight, before we go on, I should mention that idea that someone could survive for over a year without eating anything at all and just drinking water is pretty telling. That we can survive for a very long time on just the excess fat that we have in our body.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy we have, especially for someone at that weight.
If we are overweight, we don't have to take in calories. We could basically take calories from inside of us.
It's not easy, though.
Oh, it's painful. It's not healthy. I'm not recommending it. If a person stops losing weight after being on a diet for some time, it's not because their body got used to the diet, but it's because you are not creating a calorie deficit anymore. A car is very similar to a person.
Yeah, I know. I sometimes confuse the two.
A car operates on gas. Gasoline has calories, and a car functions by using gasoline. And just like a person needs calories, a car needs gasoline. And a car does not get used to using less gasoline.
No, what if you train it? No, it doesn't get used to it. That's silly.
So just like a car does not get used to less gas, a person does not get used to fewer calories. Now, some people get confused by a certain study, the Biggest Loser study, the study about the show, The Biggest Loser, that if people lose a lot of weight, their metabolism slows down more than normal. So what do you mean? Isn't that proof that your body could get used to a diet? The answer to that is no. All The Biggest Loser studied is that people who complete The Biggest Loser tend to have a slower metabolism than they should. And it's not because they were on a diet. There are other reasons.
What were those other reasons, Yossi?
Probably the pills that they illegally took when the judges weren't looking to manipulate their body and the hormones and whatever it is that they did. You could damage your metabolism without having calories, with having calories. If someone wants to damage their metabolism, like if someone wants to win a contest, they might do other things to damage their metabolism. That could cause a slower metabolism. That has nothing to do with dieting. Dieting does not make you have a slow metabolism.
Okay.
Trying to do tricks to win a contest. Sitting in a sauna for 10 hours so that you can manipulate 25 pounds of water out of your system in a few hours, that might mess up your metabolism. Generally, damaging your body damages your metabolism, but it's not the diet that caused them to have a slow metabolism.
So, Yossi, why do people believe that the body does get used to diets?
Because after being on a diet for a period of time, people find, very often, that they stop losing weight. So it must be that my body got used to the diet. Also, they think that the way you lose weight is by shocking your body by eating much less food than you're used to.
Right.
And they're not shocking their body anymore because they've been on the diet for a while. So they think that that's why they're not losing weight.
So why are they wrong?
They're wrong because bodies do not get used to diets.
So why would someone stop losing weight after being on a diet for some time, right? We said that people will be on a diet for a while and then stop losing weight. They'll assume it's because their body got used to the diet. Why is it that they stop losing weight, Yossi?
They stop losing weight because they're not following the diet properly.
Or if one didn't get their plan from someone who knows what they're talking about, for example, a nutritionist, their diet was not good in the first place, perhaps. And a weight loss diet and not a specialty diet like gluten-free diet. The gluten-free diet isn't about weight loss.
Yeah, this discussion is about people are following a proper weight loss diet. Those people, if they are not losing weight after a period of time, it's because they stopped sticking to the diet.
So if someone is not following the diet, why did they lose weight in the first place?
That's a good question. If you were following the diet properly up until this point, that's why you lost weight at the beginning. That's very common, right? People follow a diet at the beginning, and then they slowly start adding extra allowances that they didn't give themselves at the beginning. That's why they stop losing weight.
Being less careful about their dieting as they go along, sure.
Now, another reason why a person might lose weight at the beginning and not at the end is because they were never following the diet properly. But they were able to lose weight at the beginning even though they weren't following the diet properly because they were enough overweight that they could lose weight even though they were not being so good on their diet. Because the heavier a person is, the more calories they burn. So when someone starts a diet, they weigh a lot. And when you weigh a lot, you burn a lot of calories by existing. And when you burn a lot of calories by existing, you may be able to get away with not being so good on your diet and still losing weight.
Right. I mean, there are people who lose weight without being on a diet. How does that happen? They didn't follow the diet. If you're consuming less than what your body is using, you'll lose weight. If you're not following your diet, though, that will not last long, if at all.
And another thing is that there are some people who are not perfect when they start and they lose some weight, but it's because they were pretty close to perfect at the beginning. But then they get less and less perfect with each passing week, and they may not even realize it. So up until now, you may have been close enough to perfection to lose weight, but now you're not close enough to be losing weight. Let me give you an example. You might be on a diet that's 1,500 calories. Perhaps the first few weeks you were having 1,600 calories because you weren't being perfect.
It was still more than enough of a deficit to start losing weight.
Especially because you were very heavy at the beginning and you were following a 1,500 calorie diet. You were only off by 100 calories. So you were very heavy and you were having 1,600 calories, so you're still losing weight. Now you may be having 2,000 calories because your version of a not perfect 1,500 calorie diet became a 2,000 calorie diet. And you also weigh less. So you're only burning 2,000 calories.
Yossi, why does it matter if people think, oh, my body got used to the diet? Let them think that. What's wrong with that?
People will not lose weight, and they'll blame it on that their body got used to the diet, instead of simply following the diet.
Which would be the straight-up solution and an actual solution, as opposed to blaming that your body got used to the diet. That's not a solution.
You're not following the diet. That's the problem. Another issue with believing that your body gets used to a diet is people will think that they're not capable of losing past a certain amount. And that's a shame. You absolutely are capable of losing whatever you want to lose as long as you continue creating a calorie deficit.
Right. And these people are going to believe that they can't lose anymore and they'll give up on ever reaching what they're really capable of reaching.
Also, people will think that there is something wrong with their diet. Essentially, something wrong with every diet. A diet cannot get them where they want to go. And that's a shame. Diets can get you wherever you want to go if you follow them. Also, people will think that they need to keep switching their diet. After all, I need to fool my body. I need to shock my body. I have to keep switching my diet, and that's not always realistic.
And it's not nearly as successful. You're not going to be as successful if you can't stick to one thing for long enough.
And also, people will think that if I follow a diet, I'm ruining it for myself. If I follow a diet, my body will get used to it, and I'll never be able to lose more weight. I'll never be able to maintain weight because I'm getting my body used to a certain diet.
Yossi, but it's a known thing that when people plateau, they should be switching up their plan. And if they switch up their plan, they'll often start losing weight again. So you're saying that switching doesn't help.
That's correct. Switching a diet does not help you get past a weight loss plateau.
Why?
So you want to know, why is there a connection? Why is it that people sometimes find that when they lose weight and then they stop losing weight and they switch up their diet, they start losing weight again? It's not because the diet was changed. It's rather because they're following their diet.
Uh-huh.
Now, it does happen that sometimes when you change your diet, you may start actually following your diet properly. Maybe because the diet is new and fresh.
Right. You're personally able to follow a diet for 3 months at a time. That's a dangerous game, but it worked once.
But it's not that the new diet is better. It's that you're following the new diet. If you would just follow the old diet for once, then you'll lose weight also. It's not that the old diet is bad and the new diet is good.
They can both be great. It's following the diet that's the key over here.
So what you should do about this information is follow a diet to the letter.
Right. At minimum, keep track of everything. And I mean everything, so that you can know how you're going off the diet, so you know what to fix if you see that you stop losing weight. If you're not keeping track, you obviously won't be able to. You won't even know if you're following the diet in the first place if you're not keeping track of what you're doing. So follow the diet to the letter. How do you know that you're following the diet? Tracking what you're doing.
And don't be fooled.
Okay, I'm not fooled. By what?
So many people are fooled by the following.
So many people?
What happens is they don't follow the diet to the letter. And they lose weight. Why? Because they're very, very overweight and they're able to lose weight, some weight, without following it to the letter. And also, like we said, when you start the diet and you're not following to the letter, you're usually a lot closer to perfection than you are as the diet progresses. You start pushing the boundaries even more and more. This whole pushing the boundaries nonsense. You're going over the boundaries. You start going over the boundaries more and more. And you get fooled into thinking that, oh, I could be almost perfect. I could not be 100% and still lose weight. Don't get fooled, because the less you weigh, the less you can get away with having those extra calories. And also, if you start off not fully committed, you'll probably add to that lack of commitment.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier over time. If you start off without full commitment, of course, it's going to get worse.
And you will not be following the diet, but you will think that you are following the diet, and you will no longer lose weight. And also, the diet would have been over. People say, oh, okay, I'm not so perfect. I am perfect. I'm losing weight. And then I hit this plateau. We wouldn't be having a conversation. You'll be already at the maintenance phase. The reason why you didn't lose all your weight already in the first 3 months is because you weren't perfect. Had you been perfect, the diet would have been over.
If you're not following your diet to the letter and you're still losing weight in the beginning, you're either going to think that you are following the diet to the letter, and then you will see that you're not losing weight at some point, and you'll blame it that the diet is not working. Or you'll think that not following to the letter is fine, which means that you will be even less committed later on. You'll think you're on a diet, but you won't be losing weight. A guy's at the train station, and he's a little bit tired. He might have had a drink or two. And he walks on the train, and he doesn't realize he walked too far, and he walked out the other door on the other side. And he sits down on a bench. He thinks he's on the train, and he sits down and he goes to sleep. Why is he going to sleep? He has a lot to do, but he's not where he needs to go yet. He has to wait till the train reaches the stop. And he's sitting there for hours thinking he's on the train. He's not going anywhere. If you think you're on the train and you're not going anywhere, you won't realize what's wrong. You'll never get on the train. If you think you're on a diet and you're not, you'll still not be losing any weight.
And you will not believe that going on trains, I went on this train and it didn't go anywhere.
Exactly.
There's something wrong with trains. So the take-home message for today is diets work if you follow them. They don't stop working at any point. If you see it stops working, it means you weren't keeping to it properly.
The diet doesn't stop working. You might stop working.
And if you were not sticking to it up until now and still losing weight, that's a shame, because you could have been over with it. You wouldn't be hitting a plateau. You'd be at your ideal weight already.
Right. Follow a diet properly. Don't get discouraged, by the way. The issue is not complicated. It's not like you have to find some complicated diet.
Or make changes.
It's right there in front of you. Go out there and do it.
Your body doesn't know what you did from the moment you were born until this moment. Your body doesn't know or care what you did. It didn't get used to anything. Whatever you weigh will determine your metabolism, and whatever you eat will determine the number of calories you're consuming. And if there is a calorie deficit, you will lose weight.
What you eat from now on, from here on out, what you eat will make all the difference. You got this.
And a smaller car needs less gas than a larger car. And a smaller person needs fewer calories than a larger person. So if you lose weight, you will be burning fewer calories. But diets are designed with enough of a deficit to protect you even when you're already smaller. So trust in the diet and believe in yourself. You can do it, and the diet can work for you. And that brings us to the end of this episode.
Thank you for listening.
We hope you join us next time.